Hello, my name is Nigel Smith, and I spent the first 50 years of my life attempting to grow up. I was born in a small village called Upway, just outside Weymouth in Dorset in the UK. It was a very happy, simple village life upbringing. In 1981, I joined the UK military. In 1986, I got married. In 1987, we had our first daughter, and in 1991, we had our second daughter. In 2005, I retired from the UK military, and that same year, in fact, 3 days later, I took up a role as a project manager for a large program management company out of Denver and Colorado. In January this year, I was made redundant by that company, and that was a choice of through my own making. They offered me other roles, but for the last 20 years, I've been kind of tapping at keyboards and managing projects and people and stuff. And there's got to be more to life than managing projects and people and stuff. So I took my redundancy, and for the last 2 months, I've been looking for my next adventure in life, my next role. Why do I want this job? Well, to me, rightly or wrongly, I see it as a non-job, and because motorcycling is my passion, and anybody who can turn their passion into a job, to me that job is kind of like a non-job. So, where does my passion from motorcycling come from? I suppose from the age of 4. Is my first experience of motorcycling. My father took me to a motocross meeting at a very young age. Probably my first experience of two-stroke oil as well. I was never lucky enough as a child to have a motorcycle, but the passion burned within me still. At the age of 11, when I changed schools, I met a guy who was to become my best man, and he had 7 brothers. He lived on a farm, and 7 brothers had around about 7, 8, 9, 10 motorcycles. I don't know how many there were, but there was always something that was working. So I spent some great hot, long summers on the farm, fettling with, riding, racing, all sorts of motorcycles around the farm track. When I hit the age of 16 or 17 and I could actually take my licence, that's when I found out from my mother that her older brother died at a very young age, 18 I think it was, in the early 60s in a motorcycle accident. So that was a big no-no. So it wasn't until 1994 when I could afford myself to take my motorcycle test and own my own motorcycle. And since 1994, I have never been without a motorcycle. What would I like to do with regards to a trip around Europe? Well, like I say, I spent a fair amount of my life in the military, but I didn't go to that many countries. I spent a little bit of time in Italy. I spent 4 years in Northern Ireland. I spent 13 years, Cold War years, in Germany, and a bit of time in the north and the south of the UK. So as far as my trip is concerned, I'd love to visit some of the old Eastern Bloc, travel up through there on probably some real fantastic A and B type roads, meeting some lovely people, experiencing some fantastic customs, and visiting some lovely places. I was lucky enough to go on holiday in the former Republic of Yugoslavia in 1987, and I'd love to go back there to that region and travel some of those roads and meet those people and see how much that place has changed. Norway, Sweden, Finland, I'm sure they're on everybody's bucket list, and I would love to take a trip up through that region of the world. Iceland, if it could be fitted in, is another place on my bucket list I'd love to visit. Down the Atlantic coast of Ireland, and everywhere in between. I mean, those places are quite diverse on the map that I'm sure something we could work out to formulate a real once-in-a-lifetime trip of Europe on a Harley Davidson. What makes me the best candidate for this job? Well, I suppose to me a combination of my life experiences, my skills. I think I could be a superstar in this particular event. It's not just my background. I also have a massive passion for motorcycling. I've never owned a Harley Davidson. I've never test ridden a Harley Davidson. I could turn this into the best, longest 2-month test ride anyone has ever done. So please consider me for this particular trip. I would love to be part of it. I'm still searching for the next thing I want to do in life. It's a non-job that I'd really love to be a part of. I'm ready to go now, and it saves me going to get an actual job for at least another 3 months. Thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye.